My name is Cal.
My name is Anna.
And you're tuned to Cognac,
Cupcakes, and Conversations. Yay!
Yes. CCC is a podcast with a twist.
Cognac, cupcakes, and stimulating conversations.
Because it's not just about us anymore.
And we're striving to promote awareness of issues affecting our communities.
In short, it's a
vibe. Yes.
Yes.
And it's the 50th episode of Vibe. Yes. Hey.
Yes. Excuse my lighting just like falling all over the place at the same time that I'm trying to do.
No, you look good, boo. You look good, boo. You look good. You look good. So, because it's our 50th episode, we decided to bring y'all a visual. We haven't done that in a long time. I mean, we've been doing shares and stuff, but we haven't done a visual episode since probably like one of our first episodes, which was our Valentine's Day Galentine's episode.
And I feel like that's damn near what, a year? Look at this lash trying to act stupid, y'all. Yeah.
No, you look good, boo. Your lash look good, but yes.
Thank you.
So, I got me some Douce here. I'm about to, let me
That's true.
Cheers. I'm about to make my little drink, but that's what we sipping on. No cupcakes today. If I would have thought about it, I probably would have made some cupcakes and somehow sent one to you or brought one to you. But hopefully this doesn't explode on me. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking it back with the Rock Creek, We ain't too proud over here. We ain't too proud,
Not at all.
Right, and we gonna mix that up. Mm-hmm.
Mix it up. Mixing and tipping, I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody know a little bit about some of the things that we're gonna be talking about on today's episode. So we will be talking about goal setting and what that looks like, especially in this type of climate. How are we setting our goals? What are we doing with that? We're going to talk a little bit about, insecure. A lot of things have been happening on insecure. So we have a lot of feelings that we've been feeling, and we're going to just talk about some of our, our thoughts on who's trash and who's not within that show. But before we get into all of that, we are going to kick things off with our motivational moment.
Yes. Well, can we cheers first?
Oh, yes, girl. Cheers, girl. You done with your drink?
Yes. Cheers. All right. Go ahead with the motivational moment now.
Yes. This week's motivational moment is by Jimmy, not the sausage, but Jimmy Dean says, I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. And, when you think about quotes like that, you have to really remind yourself that, you're only responsible for your reactions to things. And you can't let things that are out of your control deter you from the journey that you need to go on. So, keep that in mind, y'all. Keep sailing towards your destination. You'll get there eventually.
That is a word. Yes.
Yes, girl.
So,
you ready for that R&R?
Yes, we can get straight into that R&R.
Ratchetness and righteousness is the yin and the yang of life. You got to be equally yoked with both.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to just go off the cuff because, everybody is tired right now. So
we tired, boss, y'all. We tired.
We tired, boss. Yes. So, let's catch it. Speaking of we tired, boss, from that caption you wrote on Instagram, I saw that you was just texting me saying how you love, I see your eyes opening up big, how you love, Never Have I Ever. So without giving too much away, tell us what your thoughts are. You could give some stuff away, but not pivotal.
Yes. So y'all, if you haven't checked out our Instagram, we have an updated list of what our favorite shows that we're binging out on our quarantine list. And on that list is Never Have I Ever. And the best way for me to describe it is the Indian version of Awkward Black Girl. So before Issa Rae had Insecure, she had her little YouTube series, Awkward Black Girl. And that Indian girl is her to a T, but like a updated version. You know what I mean? And it's about this Indian girl who's a teenager, and her family just moved to America like right after 9/11, which is the worst time for.
Oh, damn. So is it set in that time period too?
Yeah, it is. It is, but it is like it is the beginning part, like when they showed the clips. That's when they first moved, but now she's a little older.
Oh,
so,
right. That makes sense. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So when she was younger, that's when they first moved, and they showed like many clips of that scene, and then it fast forwards to her teenage years now. So yeah, so she's a teenager, and her dad ends up dying at her school concert of a heart attack. And when her dad died, it, I guess, somehow triggered her emotionally and paralyzed her. So she wasn't able to walk. And that's what she was kind of known as, that girl whose dad died at the school concert and was paralyzed. So, and she was super smart, really quirky, corny, and sarcastic, super sarcastic. And one day, like, she was admiring her crush, and she got up out of her wheelchair and was able to walk again magically after seeing him. So she goes to see this therapist, which is played by Niecy Nash. I wanted to call her Lisa for some reason. Niecy Nash. And their conversations just be so funny. Like, she'd be like, yeah, so you want to give me some pills? Or like, yeah, can you give me like a thong? You want to buy me some beer, some alcohol? Like, what pills can you, like, real like our friend Brittany? You know how our friend Brittany be like,
yeah.
Get the crack. Get the cocaine. You be all right.
Right.
She'd be like talking to her therapist. Her therapist was like, girl, what? No. What is wrong with you? But she's just funny, like the stuff that happens, and I don't want to give too much of the story away, but the stuff that happens is funny, and the way that she reacts to things and the way she rationalizes things is, she's me, I am her. The Indian version. So it's just really funny and relatable for all those awkward kids out there. And I feel like you would be able to relate to her too.
Yeah, because I definitely have awkwardness still to this day. So, okay, I'm gonna check that out. All right. Okay. Well, did you see the videos of DMX praying?
I someone sent it to me, but I didn't actually look at it. So what happened?
So DMX was, basically reading Ecclesiastics, like some part of that part in the Bible. And did I say it right, by the way?
Yes, you did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So I'm getting my Bible thumping badge lately. So anyway, yeah. So DMX was videoed, basically reading off some scripture from the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible. And it was very heartwarming, but the funny thing about it was how he read it. He read it in the deep, he did it in the real, like, it's dark and hell is hot voice. And so, bless his heart. I just thought it was really nice to see him doing that. It's always been a known thing. If you have known of DMX since the beginning of time, you know how he gets in his little, religious bag ever so often.
Right.
You feel it from him. You feel that energy from him. Everybody has always said, like, yo, we can see that DMX is going to become a pastor. Like, he is like,
I can see that too.
For that. So it was nice to see him embrace that even deeper, and share that. I think he's been doing it quite often on Instagram. But then there was some crackhead looking lady that rolled up on him and was like, what these bitches want from a nigga?
Oh, is that when she was like in her car? She got out her car?
Yeah, like she. I saw that. That was like the next day,
Yo.
But, we as Christians, we know that there's more to us than just the Bible or whatever. We know that we're not perfect. So I didn't see anything wrong with that. I was like, go ahead. And he was like, salute, to her whatever. But apparently he's really been getting deeper in his faith and showcasing it. Sorry, I was swatting a bug, y'all. Like, I don't know, my friend Sheba over here, love her to death, but I don't know if it's her that's giving all these bugs lately, but them bugs be trying to crawl into my eye. I'm sick of them. I be fighting, I be punching the air daily, okay? But anyway, apparently he's really gotten deeper in his faith and increased his what would you say, his walk with Christ since he got out of rehab. If people remember the pictures of him in the Hugo Boss jeans, his GQ, I'm exaggerating, it wasn't Hugo Boss, but them outfits, it looked like a Sears God bless DMX. That's what I'm gonna say. All right, moving on. And y'all I do not know, I'm on my Mac, and me and my MacBook have really gotten to know each other over the last few months, but I still haven't figured out how to turn off the ding when people are text messaging me. So prayerfully, it is not coming through, but the block is hot right now in my text messages today.
The block is hot.
Bear with us. Shout out to y'all. I just want to interrupt and say shout out to y'all that have been faithfully listening to us and bearing with us through everything that we've been trying to do and use to bring y'all the podcast weekly. We are done with Anchor. Okay. Anchor is not our friend anymore. I know the last episode, if you listen to it, it was a struggle. I would not blame y'all if y'all dropped off at a certain point.
Right.
Because we dropped off at a certain point.
Like the devil was working. The devil was really working.
The devil was working. And, I definitely want to run that interview back with Carter Sade. I want to run that interview back because I really feel like I want people to hear that interview properly. So we will be running that back. And it's clearly on our Instagram, IG Live, and it's on our YouTube. Well, if it's not, it will be after today. So, and I'll be posting it onto Facebook as well. Just so you guys have the full view of that. Shout out to Carter Sade.
She was amazing.
After church when this is all said and done. What's some other okay, so Gigi Hadid, I'm looking at Shade Room. Gigi Hadid is expecting a baby with Zayn Malik. Nobody cares.
I saw something that was interesting to me. I was looking at the blogs and looking at one of our faves bloggers, Fee from Gossip in the City, and she dropped some tea that I didn't know about Gabby Union and Aisha Curry. And apparently, Gabby got a little freaky side to her, and she's trying to get at Aisha, and she has told Aisha a couple of times on record to leave Steph, and is trying to get a little swinging motion. And at first I was like, y'all, this can't be true. But then they were going into detail about how it wasn't just, Aisha Curry that she tried to get at. Apparently she tried to get at Savannah. And that's why their friendship kind of fell off, because she was like, chill.
Shoot. Because they used to take trips together all the time, like the couples. Oh, shit.
Right. Mm-hmm. So now, Savannah, like, they're still friends. They're still cool, but it ain't going to ever be the same because she just do too much.
Damn.
So I was like, oh.
Yo, like, who, I don't know, man, like, switching basketball players. From what I heard, I've asked Dennis, how tall is Steph Curry? And because I see him next to the other players and he's not extremely tall, but Steph Curry is still like 6'2" or 6 something like that. And I'm just like, damn, like, how can you be that? You, like, imagine him, if that's how tall he is. Because, like, think of, like, Dennis's friend Anthony. Like, Anthony is, from what Dennis said, is like 6'4" or whatever. So that's tall in itself. And then so say that's how tall Steph Curry is. And then you got these other niggas dwarfing him. So I'm just like, Like after a while, it's not even attractive to me anymore. Like I'm not trying to climb like a giant anymore.
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest.
Like, girl, I get it. I mean, I guess it balanced out for her because Gabby's kind of tall, so I guess.
Yeah, Gabby is tall. Yeah, ciao. Let me move on to the next story. Kanye West was officially dubbed as a billionaire this week.
Congrats.
Yes, Black excellence. You know, even though he's kind of tarnished right now, Black excellence. I'm proud to see a Black man be a self-made billionaire. However, he was making a big stink about the fact that the Forbes just named him that. He said apparently that he sent a letter or like a copy of a $8,500,000 receipt, and that's supposedly supposed to signify that you are a millionaire. And I'm like, okay, doing the math, I don't know what the math is with that. However, now they officially named him that, and he still was complaining because he said, I'm a 3 billionaire, not just a billionaire. And it's like, my niggas are dying. Niggas haven't received their $1,200 checks.
I was just about to get into that. So the other day meaning like yesterday, I was checking the mail and I got a letter from the IRS. At first I was scared. I was like, oh no, maybe they didn't mean to send me something. We scared when it comes to IRS because I don't talk to y'all like that. It's stuff for tax time, So I was like,
once a year relationship contact.
Yeah. Right. The whole time, it's just a letter from Donald Trump letting me know that he gave me a check, a stimulus check. And I was just like, you narcissistic fuck. That's all I could think of. Like, that you are so pressed to let me know. And I'm still not voting for you.
Yo, what's his name called him a turmeric face ass.
Yes.
I think it do look like turmeric. I cannot, so what did the letter say? Like, the letter was like, hi, I'm your president. I'm so glad I was able to gift you this to bitch, it ain't even you. So
pretty much.
First of all, relax. Second of all, it's definitely the government, and we don't care. Like, you need to give more. Okay, first of all,
this one-time $1,200 check, and apparently Canada gets a $2,000 check every month. So,
right. So I don't give a fuck about your little letter that you're sending to me about a measly ass $1,200 check. Like, thank God I don't live by myself, like in this apartment.
Right.
Because, the struggle is real. Imagine people that got hella kids. Yo, we are so blessed. I have to say that. You and I are so blessed that we are, I'm unemployed, but you're still working. So you are able to meet your needs, of course, with Bay as well. And then for me, me and him are making it work. But imagine, like, if you didn't have these resources, if you didn't have these blessings to be able, like, what are people doing? How are people surviving? Like, full disclosure.
Unemployment.
Right.
Maryland.
Some people ain't even getting on unemployment. Like, for people that are furloughed and on, food stamps, like, what if they don't live with somebody? Like, the food stamps. So full disclosure, we just apply for food stamps, right? I'm gonna lay it out there. And the amount of money that like an individual gets for food stamps, the maximum per month, I was surprised. Now, what my mom told me yesterday was that that's for if you're, a single person and you don't have any children. You get a little more money when you have children. But I'm just like, yo, how does somebody survive off of like $200 for a month? And then especially these times for a month.
Right.
I'm spending like $200 every week in the grocery store because I'm trying to make Cheesecake Factory Fridays and an Olive Garden on a weekly basis happening here to keep my sanity because I love food. So I'm just like, damn, like, how are people making it? And meanwhile, Kanye was out here, complaining about somebody not claiming him to be a billionaire. And apparently he said, I know what y'all are trying to do, and you're not going to take, I'm paraphrasing, but basically it was like, I know what y'all are trying to do. I know what y'all are up to. You're trying to deface me as because of my race, and I'm not going to let you take me out of my peace in the name of Jesus. He added "in the name of Jesus" on the end of that.
That's why I can't go to his church. I can't go to his church. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Call into the name of Jesus, because he is not being labeled. His status is not a billionaire on time or the full 3 billion. Nigga, don't nobody give a damn right now about no damn billions. I saw that little interview that they did and they posted of him. I scrolled right on past that bullshit because I don't give a damn about your billions right now, bruh. What you doing with them billions? But I do have to say, I did see something on Shade Room now that apparently he bought his childhood Chicago. Oh, yeah, it's just his home. I thought he brought the home damn town. He bought his childhood Chicago home for $2,205,000, and he has plans to fully renovate it. Let me see what that's for, because I know at first they were talking about how that was like a group home or some kind of like thing for the community that they were using his childhood home for. But apparently, yeah. Okay, so Rhymefest bought it. So Rhymefest was one of his like proteges or like group mates, or not group mates, but like he was like with Kanye, and Kanye kind of brought him along for good music. So Rhymefest bought it in hopes of turning it into a foundation in Donda's honor. But after he and Ye had a very public falling out, those plans fell through. The two eventually patched things up, but Kanye and wife Kim Kardashian decided to give his childhood home the proper treatment. And of course, you know how Shade Room does. They want you to go to the website, but I'm not doing that. So,
does anybody do the read more? Because I know I don't. Not with it.
Next, I'm seeing videos of people like these girls that people have made into celebrities, which I'm like, why? Because they're just literally girls that had babies with these new ABC rappers that are out. But apparently, Lil Baby, Drip Too Hard, that one. Lil Baby's girl, her name is Jada, and they call her like Jada Wada on, I know. She's a cute girl though. Like, you know what? This is what boggles my mind. These niggas be ugly as shit. And they really do have like really pretty girls. And of course, now that the money has flowed in, the girls look even better. But they did have a nice skin. Like, I'll never forget the makeup artist Shiny on the Beat, how she said, sometimes you gotta have a better, you gotta have a canvas. Like, you gotta have a canvas to start with. And some of these canvases, okay? So these girls' canvases were a pretty good start to begin with. And then they, enhanced, I'm pretty sure, because I saw some video of Jada Waiter clapping her butt cheeks on Instagram last night. The Shade Room and the Neighborhood Talk be posting this stuff because I don't follow these people. But anyway, this is when I be feeling old. But she was clapping her butt cheeks or whatever, and I was like, oh, those definitely are fake. So bless her heart. But she's a pretty girl in the face. It was the girl Ari Fletcher, who is G Herbo's baby mother. And they were together with the Dream Doll, which is a rapper. Dream Doll, Jada Waiter, and Ari Fletcher are all together in Atlanta doing TikTok videos with the guy. What is his name? One of those like wig slayers. Oh, Arrogant Tay. That's his name, the Arrogant Tay dude. So it's like they're all in one house together, and I'll show you it. As a matter of fact, they all together doing TikTok videos.
I thought that was Regine.
No, this is a lot of niggers together. This is a lot of niggas together. And then I saw some video that Ari Fletcher posted where she was like, I don't know what she was doing. She was hanging from a ceiling. Oh yeah. And they had behind the scenes where like basically they were like a photographer was there taking these pictures. There's kids running around in the background. I'm just like, see, this is the problem. This is the problem right here. We, anything for a check. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Anything for a check. But they having a blast in ATL, I guess. Did you watch Little Women Atlanta?
I watched like one episode, but I knew who it was. The mini chick.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like, she was young. I didn't realize she was that young.
Yeah, she was only like, 34, it said, I believe?
Yeah, like 34, 35.
Yeah, I was really sorry to hear that. So rest in peace to her, and, prayers up for her family. Have you watched any of this Michael Jordan stuff?
Watched one episode of the documentary, which was the very first episode, and it was good. It was interesting. I haven't watched it after that because it comes on during insecure time. So,
which we about to get into. But
right.
I didn't know that Dennis Rodman apparently dated Toni Braxton and Vivica A. Fox. That was in the second episode that aired, I guess that was the second episode. And, it's funny, like Dennis was saying, he was on the spectrum before, people started talking about a spectrum, the Kinsey scale of being gay and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy. I feel like he's more like a Prince in a sense, because it was weird. It's like,
yeah,
you knew Prince was extra feminine looking, extra feminine in some of his swag, I would say. But you never question if he got bitches, because he always had them, and he had bad joints, and then he just possessed this type of thing with where you didn't think he was having sex with men. That was the thing, and I kind of I feel like there's men that are like, okay, yeah, they probably are having sex with men, but then there's the ones like Dennis Rodman and Prince, where it's like they're super feminine.
Right.
They only digging down females, or at least that's all we know, for
that's what we're gonna go with.
Right. Okay, last thing before Insecure, I watched the State of the Culture, which is also listed on our quarantine list, month of April. I think we should do that each month until we're out of quarantine, but anyway.
Yeah, with it.
So the State of the Culture, which is a show with Joe Budden and Remy Ma and two other people, bless their hearts, and they had Kamala Harris on there, and Kamala Harris was talking about various, important things with them. And one of the things that Remy Ma brought up was that she felt like people may not be able to vote in November, and should we trust mailed in votes, blah, blah, blah. And Kamala Harris also brought up the fact that there's people in Wisconsin that did the primary votes, and it was like they were on lines for a couple hours until the point that they actually, like a couple dozen of them actually got the coronavirus after the fact. So she said that there's a Vote Care Act or Care Vote Act, something like that, that she's trying to get behind or push rather. And she said she's also trying to push curbside voting and stuff. And I'm just like, what do you think the repercussions are going to be for voting this fall?
So If they were to do the curbside version or a version like where we just mail in our votes, it'll be handled just like they do the absentee votes, ballots. So I think it'll be like a similar process. I think the only concern will be like that situation in Ohio where all of those voter ballots were mysteriously missing. So I could see that, because I mean, what is an election without a scandal? You know, what year have we had an election that it wasn't no scandal attached to it? So I think if anything, that would probably be a concern of missing ballots. Oh, we don't know where it happened. It just magically disappeared. So there's that. I don't think we should do virtually because it's so much hacking going on that I would be concerned with votes being changed, and like you just can't trust technology nowadays. And at this point, you know, all we can do is control what we do and show up and do what our part, and whatever happens from there happens.
Oh God, it don't sound good. It don't sound good. I mean, Kamala Harris was really like, you know, Trump loses. Trump knows that he'll lose if we do a mail-in vote rather than the ballots, because I don't know, she didn't really go into like whether or not mailing makes a difference as far as the electoral college and stuff, but you know, if we postpone, like that really can change a lot if we ended up, but there's a lot that's changed in general. Like, you know, people ain't playing sports right now, blah, blah, blah. So like if they decide to postpone the voting, then I mean, that just means that he's in office longer.
Which likely will be.
Ciao. All right, let's get
now.
So I'm not sad.
Just throw reset 20. Just reset it.
Reset it. Let me just add a little splash. So go ahead and
yes, girl. Let's get your click together.
Let me add a little splash over here because I just can't. I can't. So go ahead.
All right, so we're about to get into this insecure girl.
Mm-hmm.
So should we start from the beginning of these episodes? We're on episode 3 now. Is it 3?
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to start from episode 1 or you want to start from episode 3?
Well, we actually have talked about episode 1 and have we talked about episode 2 too? I think we've talked about both. So we can just start off from
episode 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this week's episode, full disclosure, I missed the first 10 minutes of the episode, so I did catch up on some stuff. Thanks to you, shout out to you for letting us know about Insecurity podcast, so I can catch all the little details.
We're gonna have to put that on the May quarantine list. Insecurity. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so it definitely filled in some of those gaps that I was missing. With that, but I'm gonna tell you from what I actually physically saw, because I feel like listening to someone else's perspective might change my view of how I feel. So I'm gonna go with what I feel and the emotions that I got from what I saw. So y'all, this lighting is just like falling all over the place. It's struggling, and it's cool though. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it
so cute, boo.
Right. It's just whatever. So, and then my legs is going numb. Y'all, look, I'm honest with y'all because y'all know.
Oh no, we're gonna have to take a break.
Right. Yes, I got my whatever them pills is that I be taking.
The potassium itch, because you know I was about to get on you. Is there a banana nearby? See, what we used to be in college, right? And Raquel would come and we would go to parties. And Raquel's legs would get a cramp. She would get a Charlie horse on the dance floor and be like holding on to my like shoulders, exactly like a claw. Oh, God. Like, did you eat your banana before coming? Damn!
You always cuss me out.
I was just about to drop into the split for the Dutchy one, and here you come clamping.
I think the worst one of that one was, I think, actually my birthday at Fur. Do you remember that at Fur nightclub?
I think that was you and Gemma that went back. Were you wearing like an orange dress?
I probably did. I don't remember. I just remember being on the bathroom floor and someone was trying to get me like a bar to
I've heard this story. I wasn't there for that one, but I heard this story. I think that was Gemma that was with you.
Probably. Girl, yes. Anywho, back to Insecure. Damn, where did I leave off at? Okay, so yeah, I missed the first 10 minutes of the show. And the part that I came in on was the first 15 minutes of the show, honestly. Lord, that drink. So yeah, they were Issa was having dinner with her brother at the little mariachi Spanish place. Molly is with her family at
which I stand Mexican. So
I know
in that whole moment, I was like, man, I might have to do that one year. But go ahead.
Listen, lessons was learned from that episode. I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't have to tolerate this. I'm an adult. I can leave. I have a car. Bye. Listen, no. So yeah, so basically, if you spoiler alert for those who didn't watch. So yes, Issa's having dinner with her brother because they skipped out on. This is what I learned from the show, from the podcast telling me that they skipped out on it because something happened with Issa's mom and her new boyfriend. He slipped on some loose gravy, some shit like that or whatever.
Yeah, so wait a minute. So with the loose gravy, so that's how far like 10 minutes went into the show. I mean, the show is like 30 minutes long, so I guess, yeah, damn. But go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, so I guess he must have slipped on some loose gravy or whatever the case may be. He had to go to the ambulance, and they were like, "Fuck that shit. I'm not about to be here with these people that I don't like. I'm too old to get to know people, and that's me through and through. I'm too old to get to know these new people. No, I'll pass." So they decided to make their own, Thanksgiving tradition and be happy and be merry with some margaritas and some fajitas. So I was here for that. So she's over there. She's chilling with her brother, and apparently her and Molly are just like going on a downward spiral of their friendship. And her brother's like,
Oh yeah, so like how that started was in the beginning of the episode. They were going to the store, and I thought of me and you, Kel, because of course, anytime there's like a close relationship, I think of me and you. So like, as I know you heard on Insecurity, they were in the store and they had like this awkward moment of where, at first they was cool, and then it was like Molly was like, should I invite Andrew to come with me to, my Thanksgiving or whatever? And then Issa said, girl, you might fuck around and scare him like the old Molly, scare him away like the old Molly or something like that. And so Molly was, of course, taken aback from that.
Offended,
yeah. And then when they started kind of jabbing a little bit, because Molly was like, Issa said something like, yeah, let me put these groceries back because I ain't got no time, which I can see both of us doing something like that. Like, I got this festival coming up. I ain't got no time to be buying all this damn food. And so she was like, how's that going? Like, I don't know why Molly says, how's that going? I don't know why you would think, like, why you trying to play it off like that's not a big deal, which I thought that was stirring the pot. And Issa was like, well, no, it's fine. She was acting like it wasn't bothering her, but I'm sure Molly could see that was bothering her. And then like that kind of turned into jabs against each other. And so while they were jabbing each other, not physically, but, verbally, like
passive aggressive comments.
Which is like, oh, cringe. Like, I'm just not that type of person that enjoys doing jabs with someone I'm close with. Like, it's just really awkward. I was never a fry man in high school or a Jonah in high school. I never could like go on people. Like I could only be nice or mean. So they were going in on each other, and then it was like, yo, is there a problem? You know? And I was like, ooh, yeah. Like when I saw that part, I was like, yo. And then when they said like, yo, we need to discuss this. And then Issa was like, yeah, we should. I was like, good. You know, of course we know that they're going to have issues later on, but I was like, good. I feel like me and Kel would do that. But then Issa was like, you want to talk for Thanksgiving? Bruh, like, because she had to go do something after, like, that's mad awkward. So y'all gonna keep walking through the grocery store? Like, they didn't even leave each other in the grocery store. Like, they just kept walking together. I could have even seen if they split part, like, yo, I gotta go this way, you go that way, and I'll talk to you. Like, they finished shopping, and I just was like, or you can assume that they finished shopping because they kept walking together. And I was like, I hope me and Kel would never do something like that, or me or any of my friends would never like let some shit linger, because you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. One, two, like you see in this episode how shit piled up on Issa where she couldn't end up meeting with Molly, and then that's the worst thing when you just leave somebody to think things. It's the worst.
The way that me and you are connected, that shit would never happen. Cause
I like that. Yeah.
You know, like, no, we about to talk this shit out right now. Let me put these avocados down. Because I don't like the way you came at me. So, and we gonna talk this shit out.
Why are we doing this? Why are we coming for each other? That's not us. What's going on?
Right. Yes. So I think one, they've been friends a little bit too long for them to even act the way that they're acting. With that. Did you catch up to the part? Okay, yeah. So they went to each other's separate ways. They were supposed to have the conversation at Thanksgiving or whatever the case may be. Thanksgiving rolls around, and as you know, as you would think, you're not trying to bring no negative vibes on Thanksgiving. Like, that was the whole point of her not even staying with her family and dealing with their shenanigans. So why would she want to deal with having this type of conversation with Molly on Thanksgiving? The time that we're supposed to be fucking grateful and thankful for our friendships and our families, et cetera, et cetera. She just didn't want the vibes. It was just like, nah, we'll table this later. And as you say, you know, you keep putting stuff off, and then eventually feelings start to fester, and thoughts that weren't there before will eventually start creeping in, and then it will become bigger than what the initial problem really was in the first place. So my issue, pause Blake before we continue with what actually happened, with that would be is everybody has all these emotions and these feelings right now because everyone is at different places in their life. You know, right now, Issa's trying to figure out her life. She's trying to figure out like what path she's going on. Is this block party going to be popping off? Is this going to be the next thing to take her career to the next level? Like, she's trying to level up in life. She's tired of being with the same bullshit, the same, you know, bum ass job that never really appreciates her or sees her. She's tired of being in relationships with people who, you know, aren't doing anything with their life. Like, she just wants to level the fuck up, you know? And then there's Molly, who is leveled up from the appearance of things, but emotionally, she's just like not there. It's hard for her to be in a relationship. She's looking for the love and trying to balance love and career. And do I start a family? Do I not start a family? Like, what am I doing here? Right. So when you have two people, and this happens with friendships all the time, me and Anna have experienced that with other friends, and trying to fit, and actually not even other friends, we've actually even experienced that with each other at some point as well. Like, when you went off to college, you kind of did your own thing. You started, you know, creating your new group of friends, and I did the same, you know, and then officially we came back together because that's what we do. But so that's like, you know, that's a part of life.
The other day, but go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's a part of life. It's a part of like how it should be, or whatever the case may be. So, okay, let's get into, did you want to add anything else to the friendship part of that part of them too? Okay, cool. So then let's get into this Lawrence and Condola.
Woo!
Child, I'm gonna let you catch them because once again, I can't late on that part. So can you tell everybody about like the part where how Lawrence ended up even getting to have Thanksgiving with Condola?
Yeah, so apparently, long story short, they, were sleeping with each other, not sexually, but like, they woke up together and, he's trying to figure out his whole situation with his job because apparently they're downsizing. And, she mentions to him, hey, yeah, I got a lot going on and I got to get ready for my Friendsgiving with my friends, blah, blah, blah. And so he's like inviting himself basically like, oh, like, can I come through basically? And so she's like, sure, so she allows him to come or whatever. And so like, of course they go through the motions of the episode and stuff. And he goes over there and he's like dressed very spiffy, he looks very nice. And he tried to attempt to fix her sink. When he gets there, she has this very nice modern ass designed home or whatever. So I'm just like, Lord, like she got a nice ass place or whatever. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know she was like rich. Like she said, the plumber said, "Oh, you got a sink." But did you see the rest of that from there? Like when they had the people come over and stuff?
Yes. So when I finally got to the show, that part, Lawrence was in that. I actually liked that outfit that he had. I was like, okay, H&M shirt, yes. He was on his Zara tip. I was like, okay,
yes,
I see you.
He went to Zara, got his little top.
Yes, like his outfit was such a DMV swag type, like a night at park or
all he needed was the hat. All he needed was the Teddy Riley hat with that shit.
That was such a DMV swag like that. I don't even know where he's from, but yeah. So I like the shirt. I was at the part where he was chilling with her friends on the couch and they were drinking, and her little drunk ass friend was like, oh, I need some more wine. There was cracking jokes on him with his outfit, like, oh, whew, damn, that jet and the ginger, the mixture is going through my chest, y'all. But anywho, okay. So, yeah, so they were sitting on the couch and they were talking or whatever the case may be. The drunk friend wanted more wine or whatever, and he went to the kitchen to get it or whatever, or cleaned up or got something else. So she goes in there and she tells him like, oh, I'm really glad you guys are together. You're just what she needed. But basically describing the fact that she just wanted a fuck buddy and that's what she needed. And
which
clearly,
was news to me. I wasn't expecting that.
Okay. I kind of was, but I wasn't. Like, I was, but I wasn't. I was because she was divorced and I felt like the divorce was still soon. So I was like, she probably isn't. Most divorced people don't be like eager to jump back into another serious relationship that soon. So for that reason, like, I'm not surprised. But the way that they were so cute together could be like, oh, maybe she might be open-minded to giving it a chance or whatever the case may be. But yeah. So, yeah, so the drunk friend is like, yeah, telling him basically like, that he's the new fuck buddy. And now he's all in his feels because he's just like, damn. In his mind, he thought it was going to be more, blase. So,
and then it feels like he wants to
thing happened.
Huh?
Was that when the sink thing happened? When his shirt got messed up? Okay. I want to make sure I was right with that. So yeah, I don't know if he went to rent something off, whatever the case may be, but you just heard some bullshit that you process that moment, and then boom, the awkwardness kicks in and you realize how awkward you are, and then the water, like Slim Chance crew, spills all over your shirt, of the shirt that they was just frying you on low key, high key.
Yes.
I felt bad for him in that moment. I was just like, damn. I wonder if that happens to guys though. Like, well, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it does. You know, that's what they were showing, that this guys can be insecure and awkward too. And like, you know, fast forward into when Issa like kind of confessed to her brother like that, you know, hey, you know, I feel like, you know, basically that Beyonce shit, like, and I be damned about it. What's that song? Bring me along.
I'm
Like,
rocking Coachella coats. I let you go. Like, she gonna read everything that I said.
yeah,
I
Brady, this nigga.
that shit. I felt that shit. I felt Issa, I felt that shit. I did.
Oh,
Because you give your all to, you invest in relationships. You give your all in those moments, thinking that like maybe they will change or maybe things will be better or whatever the case may be. Just for you to realize that it ain't really going to even work. And then the next is going to come and get all these improvements. So I had a great conversation with my homegirl. Hopefully we're going to have her on IG live here on the show. And she put a good point. Like, you got to think of these relationships like almost like a house. When someone buys a house or whatever the case may be, and they're investing all this house, to one person it might seem like a money pit. And then when it's time for them to sell that house, the next person that comes in doesn't see it as a money pit because they have gotten all the improvements that you have built into that house. So, and that's how some of these relationships can be like. So shout out to you, CC. So yeah, she made that like analogy and I was like, yo, that's true. It is like that. So, but you have to just keep pushing forward. And I think it was another movie that was like that. It was like Good Luck Chuck or Harry, something like that, where every time the guy would get in a relationship, the next person that he would marry, if you look at my past relationships, every person after me, they married. I was just like,
yes,
oh.
I know exactly what movie you're talking about. Yeah, your face, I can't.
Okay.
Yes, that's a fact. Like, yeah.
And you don't want to be that girl. You want to be happy for them. You want, like, no one wants to see another person struggle. You want them to improve, but it just sucks that they can't improve while they're with you.
But just like Good Luck Chuck or Good Luck Charlie, whatever the fuck the name of the movie was, just like that, he does find someone eventually that's right for him. So I think that it is possible for us, and I think it's possible for Issa. Do you think, you know, after the ending, when, you know, so Lawrence gets in an argument basically with
Condola.
Speak on it, Kel, speak on it.
Yeah, so he gets into this argument with Condola because Condola, like, I don't remember if she was like, I can't remember exactly what he said to start the argument. She was like, if anybody should be offended, it should be me with how you are with Issa. And then it kind of just like went from there. But I can't remember that statement that was said. Do you remember that statement?
I think it was like something like that. I can't remember the word, but it was basically like, if anybody should be insecure or concerned or one of those type of words, it should be me, because look at you and Issa, like y'all still have a great relationship. Y'all still have, you know, good rapport. I'm paraphrasing at this point. But he was like, why? Like, it's Issa or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And she basically was saying, like, but she cheated on you. So, like, if she didn't cheat on you, wouldn't y'all still be together? And he was like, well, she cheated, so it doesn't matter. And she was like, no, but like, would you still be together with her if she didn't cheat on you?
That was an unfair ass question.
That was
an unfair ass question, because at the end of the day, like he said, she cheated, he's with you, and we're in this present moment now. Your husband left you, and you're here in this present moment now. So what are we talking about? Like, what was the point of that? Like, you're trying to get one up, like, oh, but if this didn't happen, okay, and
yeah, like that is an unfair question, because you're trying to figure out, you know, an alternate parallel universe. Like, okay, so this is what would happen if this person didn't cheat on me. You know, which we,
and he had every right to be able to be like, yeah, I would be. So
that's not what happened. And, you know, we went on different paths. So there we go. You know, and I think
Right.
people get caught up in that, like, you know, like, oh, if she didn't cheat on you or if he didn't cheat on you, like, would you still be dealing with that nigga? Well, there's a difference. Like, okay, if they didn't cheat on me, you want to hear me say, well, we had other issues, so we would have broke up eventually anyway. Sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes it literally is that was the straw that broke the camel's back for someone, especially for these niggas. They really be feeling like if someone cheats,
especially with cheating.
Yeah, that is the deal breaker for guys. You know, women be taking all of that stuff, and maybe that's why some women get caught up in that, because it's like, oh, she must still have a hold on you. In Issa and Lawrence's case, I think that they do have a hold on each other. I didn't think it was that strong until he sent that little DM at the end of the episode.
That solidified it for me. I think that part, the little smiley face DM of like, I can still get you. Like, they have this connection. Like, even when they're not away, they're still connected into the things that they say. And that's based off of the conversation that she had with Condola with the French fry thing. Like, they're so like this, you know what I mean? Like, so I think they've been through a lot. They were together for a while, so it's going to be like that. You know, I feel like it's natural that would be. I definitely see them getting back together, even for like another fuck. You know, I feel like something is going to happen with them to get back together. I don't see him and Condola's relationship lasting, but I still feel like Condola has made a strong presence in the show, so I can still see her role being in the show because people feel her. Like, she is Issa.
Yes, yeah, like she's like an upgraded version of Issa. Like Issa when she really gets her shit together and is in a secure place rather than insecure. And with that, let's move on to I guess meeting us where we're at, which is the talk topic of today. You know, we'll make this short. You know, we've been through so much since we started CCC, so we just wanted to kind of like catch up with you guys and just talk about some of our goals that we're trying to set for, you know, the next 50 episodes and beyond of CCC. You know, so I'll start off with like some mushy stuff. Like, I remember how CCC's podcast came into fruition. Well, actually, maybe I should bring it back, actually. Kel, tell them how CCC in general came into fruition.
CCC started because I was tired of doing the same shit. I didn't want to go to the clubs. I still love food and a good drink. I love a good kiki, and I miss the vibes of a house party, but a little bit elevated, you know, with great conversation. So I decided to do a kickback and had all the girls bring cupcakes and the guys bring some yak. And we had some great conversations, some arguments, some crazy stories, some tears, you know, and I was just like, yeah, like, it was feels, it was vibes. It was just, you know, like, if you can see those rooms that you see, that you imagine like a rave or EDM when they have them laser lights, and like the lights is kind of like, that's the vibes. The vibrations was just all in the room. From there, it kind of like catapulted to people like, yo, when you gonna do this again? And then Anna wasn't there the first time because she had to go out of town for something with her. I feel like it was something with your grandma. But yeah, so I told her about it, but she was like, yo, I'm not gonna miss it. It's next one. And this time she was like, but we about to elevate this to the next level. So she came in this junk, she like swept it up, leveled it up, you know, added her little pizzazz and sparkle of gold on it. It was like, we gonna get a venue.
You did too. I thought
we gonna get a sponsor.
I thought that was your idea to like make it bigger.
I mean, we both did, but
but thank you for the props. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you was talking about like, let's secure the sponsorship, let's make some money off of this, and then from there, sit out. It became like this big event thing. And then it just kept growing and growing. It was like, yo, it got to the point where it was like, we had to do the next step, which I'm gonna let you tell about how we got into the podcast aspect.
Yeah, so we knew that like we were limited. Every time I turn my damn mic on, somebody start texting. I swear, like while you talking, nobody's texting me. Have you listen? Anyway, let me continue. So, so basically, we had an old podcast before this called Freaks and Geeks Radio, which has a dear place in our hearts because we did it with our third musketeer, Gemma. And we phased that out because we didn't feel as passionate about it as more. Gemma wasn't trying to do it anymore. And we eventually, we kind of, like I said, we just weren't passionate about it anymore. We kind of just was like, okay, let's, finish on top, put this to bed. So probably like a year went by. It wasn't that long. It was like a year and change went by. And then we started talking about, doing a podcast with CCC because we felt like we wanted to bring content on a, more frequent basis to people that were like, when's the next event? Because I'm gonna be real, we were shelling out so much money every week for this daggone podcast. I mean, for this daggone CCC. I said every week. This drink is getting to me. I'm sorry. Every time we did an event, it was a lot of money we were spending, and we weren't necessarily seeing as much of a return on investment like we wanted to. So this is real transparent. We coming to y'all with this. So we said, let's do a podcast. Like that'll be an easy way. So, we needed a better return on investment, and we felt like doing the podcast would be a better return on investment because it was low maintenance, low cost, and we could put it out to y'all more frequently to feed whoever was really married or not married, but really, connected to the brand. And wanted more content. So that's how we decided to start the podcast. So we just decided to, brand it completely like the CCC brand and bring y'all what we love, which is, talking about community, talking about philanthropy, being ratchet and righteous at the same time. And that's how the CCC podcast was birthed.
Yeah, so, we were really excited about, our 50th episode now, and we can't wait to get to our 100th episode with you guys. And now it's just like, so what's next? Like, how can we continue to grow? And that's going to kind of go into some of our goals that we have with you guys. So one of our goals that we kind of already started was really bringing the experience to your home. And we started that with at our game night that we did when we did our first, pop-up event. And at the first, which that was a crazy success that didn't even think that we would get that much love, but it was great. And we premiered our card game. Everyone loved it. So now we're going to try to take that experience, take those notes from that, and really take it to the next level. So that's one of our goals, is to be able to bring the experience of the CCC, not just for an event like our major events, but just on a daily, on a kickback. We're in these quarantine situations, we're always on FaceTime, on Zooms with our homies and, and co-workers or whatever the case may be. So we can bring that experience to your home. So that is one of our goals, is to really level up the experience and the engagement of the CCC.
Yes, I'm excited for that. Well, you was gonna say something? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
One of our other goals is to have more conversations. We had, if you remember on YouTube, we had The Conversation, which was a 4-part series. We plan on bringing that back. We planned on bringing it back this year, but unfortunately COVID came and shut all that down. So, and, you know, I saw how like some other people that do like similar things, like the Grapevine, they're doing Zoom versions of the Grapevine. Matter of fact, Kel, they did one on, what was it? Dennis just told me yesterday. Oh, I think they did it on Black as Fuck. And, you know, what they think of it. And so I actually want to watch it, but I'm not going to lie, I was a little turned off when I found out it was a Zoom video. And for that same reason, we don't want to do the conversation on Zoom. So many people trying to talk at once, it's just a lot. We try to have like, at least like maybe like 10 people at the table or whatever. So with that, we will resume schedule probably next year for that, for sure. When people feel a little safer to do something like that. Maybe sooner if we're, you know, blessed. Sorry, y'all know I got to swat this damn fly. We'll resume that next year. Another thing that we are really looking into is maybe taking that to other cities and also having merch. So just again, back to what Raquel said about bringing CCC to you, not just through the podcast, but also through like just in physically bringing it to you. So yeah, did you have any other ones, Kel? Any other goals?
Not that we're ready to deliver, you know, so stay tuned to what we got going on. You know, we got some things in the works, some conversations that are happening. You know, you never know who might come through and kick it on the couch with us.
Right. Right. So we're here just working on that when we're not, you know, working on the podcast itself. Let us know, guys, if you like the Cheers series, because I still wouldn't mind, you know, we both still wouldn't mind doing those and continuing those after COVID, post-COVID. So
right.
Yeah. But I'm excited for what's to come with CCC. I feel like Kel said, there's some other things that we're working on in the background, but we would love to definitely do those 3 or 4 things that we mentioned earlier. And that's on the tops of our list: the card game, the merch, more conversations, you know, and better quality podcasts, you know, and great interviews just to feed you guys. You know, we love to feed your spirit and your stomach, you know,
yeah.
So.
So, you want to get into the philanthropy moment?
Yes, let's do it.
You need to get up, get out, and get something, because you and I got to do for you and I.
All right, y'all. So typically we always talk about giving back to the community, and this COVID-19 coronavirus situation has taken so much away from our community, but even more that it's taken from our community, it's taken away from ourselves, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Just, we're drained, you know? So instead of us encouraging you guys to give out to other people, we're going to take that encouragement and keep that encouragement for ourselves. So something that we've been doing and working on with one of our good friends, Brittany, shout out to her, of Hype Life Coaching. She always gives us these different challenges to do every week. And this week's challenge was to write down some affirmations, like start claiming those positive things and putting those manifestations out into the atmosphere for the universe and from our lips, our writings to God's ears, to be able to manifest those positive things back into our life. So that is what our philanthropy highlight will be this time. It will be to start affirming, believing, and taking that faith of the mustard seed and putting it out into the universe for it to become and blossom and bloom to the things that you want to see and the things that you want to be. Give the gift of loving yourself and believing in your dreams and believing that the things that you want could happen will happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. So that I am going to claim that also as a last call, but you know, let me do a last call as well. Last call. Okay. So to piggyback on claiming affirmations and writing out affirmations, as Kel said. Shout out to our girl B. Our last call today, which, Kel, do you have something to sip on for the last call? You know, this is, yes. This is, you know, because like Kel said, we have lost a lot. We are mourning, you know. This one girl that we went to high school with, she was talking about her 30th birthday and how, you know, she had this big plan set, and she decided what she was going to do was, you know, give money back, all the money that she had planned for her birthday party. She decided, I think her name on Instagram is Kayla Nicole. She said she was going to have this huge, massive 90s birthday party for her birthday. And what she decided to do instead was use all that money she saved for that 30th birthday to give back to others for the next 30 days until she turns 30. So I was like, wow, that's really positive. And what I really loved is that she acknowledged that she had to mourn first. You know, as y'all know, I'm getting married this year, and it's a lot on brides this year. Just trying to reconvene and figure out what you're going to do in order to reconvene, because that's the wrong word, but like just figure out what you're going to do. Are you going to postpone? Are you going to you know, have the wedding anyway? Are you, you know, and then if you're family planning, you know, you kind of want to get the show on the road. And I mean, at least for me, full disclosure, that's my whole thing. I want to get the show on the road. I want to be married this year. And I'm praying, you know, that thankfully, since my wedding is in the fall, in the beginning of the fall at that I will be blessed with that opportunity. But, you know, of course, there's things that come with that. What's the guest count going to look like in that time period? What are the table settings going to be like? Are they going to allow, what number of people are they going to allow to sit at the tables for social distancing? You know, I saw something that our homegirl, Brittany, posted, which happy belated to her, because by the time this post, it'll be after her birthday. What up? Happy belated, Brittany! Hey. But anyway, you know, what is the new normal going to be? Because, you know, some people are saying by the summertime, they'll open up businesses again, certain businesses. By the fall, you know, it'll be a certain level of social distancing, but we'll be recovering. And then not until like the spring, summer of next year that it'll be the new normal. And that's, of course, pending that this virus doesn't uptick again, you know, in the winter. So it's just so depressing. Our best friend Jim, she just had a baby, and I'll just leave it at, imagine having a baby in the midst of this, you know. And we're so happy that Chloe is here, but you know, it's sad because we can't even see Chloe, you know. So like in person, you know. But thank God for social media. Thank God for FaceTime. Thank God for all of those things, those advancements in technology, because we can still feel connected from afar. But I want to say it is okay to mourn your losses, no matter how small or how silly they are. You know, a lot of people on the top of the list, I would say, are people with milestone birthdays, people with weddings, and people with, you know, that are having babies or pregnant, because these are big milestones in your life that you intend on sharing with your family, and you can't because everybody's trying to live. Everybody's just trying to live, dog. And don't use another, you know, bonus. Don't swallow no damn Lysol or cleaning fluids, okay? Just don't try it. It's sad we even have to say that, but don't do it. Don't do it. Just practice social distancing. Check out the coronavirus series on Netflix that just started, because they'll tell you the history of how they did it in 1918. Yeah. With the Spanish flu and stuff. Was that the Spanish flu? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how, you know, quarantining was like the best thing next to a vaccine, you know, because we have to flatten the curve, and how St. Louis was able to do it by really locking down and locking in and not going outside. And they didn't have social media back then, Berber. Like, when was the phone invented? You know, you don't even know if your family's okay back then. You know, you got to send letters. And so, like, we are really blessed. We have a lot of different ways to communicate with each other without seeing and holding and touching each other. And I know we're all used to that. I just saw my mom the other day and I wanted to touch her and I couldn't, you know. But we got to do this in order to be able to go back to the day parties and the mimosas. Like, we want to go back to the festivals. We want to go back to conferences and, you know, building each other up and stuff. But we can't do that if we're dead. Simple as that. Can't do that if you're dead. So chill out on the nails, chill out on the, you know, the pedicures, chill out on the hair, getting your hair done. I'm just looking the camera. Chill out on, you know, like the frequency of those things, and, you know, just stay safe. Just stay as safe as you possibly can, people. You know, wear your mask, social distance, and again, mourn, because it's good for your mental health. It's good to mourn and feel the way you're supposed to feel, because I think once you mourn, you're able to kind of move into acceptance. What's the stages of denial or whatever
Yep, the stages of grief.
Stages of grief. You go through denial, you go into the, you know, the mourning and all the other ones, and then you finally reach acceptance. So you gotta shed those tears, you gotta feel the way you're gonna feel, and then you will eventually reach acceptance.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes. Cheers to your burp.
Cheers.
Cheers. On that note, I'm gonna get ready to make these crabs because it's late. Yes, bitch. Crabs, bitch. And I think I'm gonna tune into Never Have I Ever to lift my spirits, you know?
Yeah, girl.
That's all we can do. What you getting into tonight, boo? Rest. The bed.
The bed.
Amen. I hear that. I hear that. All right, y'all. Well, until next time, thanks for listening to our 50th episode.
Hey. That's how the young folks do it.
Cheers to many more episodes, and we hope you guys enjoyed. We love you guys. See you next time. Cheers.
Yeah.
It's a vibe.